Good morning. Today we have a pretty special service here at Westside Unitarian Universalist Church, which everyone is welcome, no matter what path it took you to come here, no matter how you're here now physically or watching right now on the live stream or watching its recording in the future, you are all welcome. Here we have a tradition of many times having lay-led services, but today's is extra special. It is a rather large group of our Building Your Own Theology class who built this to tell you their stories. My name is Ryan Moyers. My pronouns are he, him, and his. It is my pleasure and privilege to be here as the worship associate today. We have one, or a couple actually, announcements that we'd like to focus on in the order of service. A reminder of this coming Saturday, April 25th, we have the Makers Market supporting AKIN, Allies of Knoxville's Immigrant Network, features vendors, and a lot of the proceeds will be going to providing assistance to families. And a reminder as well, if you are part of or are interested in Earth Church, our next meeting is next Sunday, April 26th at 2. And I believe that's it for that. Carol has a few more things to focus on.
Good morning, everyone. It is lovely to see you all this morning. I'm Reverend Carol Badeau. I am privileged to serve here as minister. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I just want to tell you how excited I am about this morning's service, where we get to learn directly from some of the people in the congregation about their journeys to this place, their beliefs, their values. We're going to be singing some songs that might surprise you as part of those journeys. We're going to be hearing stories. We're going to be doing some special candle lighting things. So if you're with us virtually, I want you to know that if you want to share your theological journey, send me an email, because I want to know the stories and the journeys of everyone who's in this space, whether you're here with us in person or virtually. So we're gonna have wonderful people from the congregation participating in all parts of this morning's service. And our typical, one of the ways we call ourselves present is by inviting our singing bowl to sing. And this morning, Sherry Smith is going to be inviting the bowl to sing for us. Thanks, Sherry. And with our words for our chalice lighting this morning, we have Stacy Howard, who's going to be sharing Dream of the World by Thomas Berry.
If the dynamics of the universe from the beginning shaped the course of the heavens, lighted the sun, and formed the earth, if this same dynamism brought forth the continents and the seas, an primordial cell, and then brought into being the unnumbered variety of living beings, and finally brought us into being and guided us safely through turbulent centuries, there is reason to believe that this same guiding process is precisely what is awakened in our present understanding of ourselves and our relationship to this stupendous process. Sensitized to such guidance from the very structure and functioning of the universe, we can have confidence in the future that awaits the human adventure.
And Stacy's going to help us with a special part of our service that's not actually listed in your order of service. So, just as our chalice, which we've just lit, holds in this community to be a source of light in the world, and to honor the light in each person here, we as a community also have the intention to hold strong our commitment to love and creating transformative community through loving kindness. So this beautiful amethyst heart, this was a gift to us, and it's a representation of the strength rooted in the earth that sustains us and yet somehow emanates a beauty that is transcendent. So this gift is a way for us to hold that intention in a physical way. For many of us here, connecting to the earth is a way of keeping ourselves centered in hope, beauty, and possibility, no matter what's happening in the world. And this amazing stone, like the plants, if you see, we have light, we have plants, we have stones. These remind us that we are connected to all of life, and that life is always in the process of becoming. So at the end of our service, you're going to hear a song by Kate Brady and Noboru Muto called Connected. It's about the kind of connection that is possible when we remember how special life itself is, every single life. And it's easy to assume when we hear this song and other songs like it that love, at least deep, intense love, mostly means one-to-one romantic love. How many of us make that assumption? We hear love and we think, oh, that's family members, partners, right? But this song reminds us, speaking of us and we, rather than just you and me, that the powerful force of life and love is what holds us together. So this stone is meant to remind us that this kind of love is at the heart of this community. So Stacy has lit some candles around our heart. I'm lovingly thinking of this as the heart of the community. And I'm going to share with you some words from that song that we'll be hearing at the end of the service. Big thanks to Bill Coar for bringing this song to our attention. This song is actually from a video game. Okay, it was actually originally, we'll hear it at the end for this stone after the service. So if you want to participate in that, anyone who wants to participate in that is welcome to join us. We're going to do a little ritual blessing of the stone as part of our gathering. And I'm going to invite Stacy to light these two candles using the big tall green candle there. These are the candles that we light for our community, the joys and the sorrows. There are too many sorrows to name, but let us today focus on the joy that is being held in the heart of community. Whether you're here virtually, whether you come once every few months, or whether you come every week, the heart of this community is big enough to hold us all, and that holding can only grow. All right, and now we're going to get started with hearing the amazing stories of some of our members. Oh, you need it, okay. Right there.
So before we get into that, we do have just a little bit of an intro that, talking about what happened in our Building Your Own Theologies class, which, in the one that has just not recently finished, our group has been very brave and shared many deep beliefs and spiritual experiences, including ones that led them to having almost none at all. Consider this. In the class, we have had someone whose relatives went through the Holocaust, another whose father was a German soldier in World War II, and whose mother lived through the Allies bombing her city, one who studied to be a Franciscan priest and then found an alternate path in life, another who could have drowned in a sinking ship or a tsunami, and several who have experienced voices of wisdom from beyond, and some who spoke of past lives, one who wild animals want to befriend, some who have been emotionally scarred or are cancer survivors, and more that led them to the experiences they have had. Many in the class are lifelong spiritual searchers and are still learning day by day, and from one another. It has been a truly exciting journey. So today we want to share some of these, as we like to call them now, mystical moments, as well as our lifelong learning experiences with you. We should be reminded that, as stated on our website, as Unitarian Universalists, we do not have to check our personal background and beliefs at the door. We join together on a journey that honors everywhere we've been before. Our shared covenant, our 7 principles, supports the free and responsible search for truth and meaning. So today we will begin with Bridget Ross.
My name's Bridget Ross, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers. I was raised in the Church of God of Prophecy, which I always say is super evangelical. Google states it's a holiness Pentecostal church. My grandpa was a pastor and a missionary. I started deconstructing in 2020, and Westside allowed me a safe place to do that. While many others that had the same pains and doubts as me, and allowing me to be able to question my religion. I now realize that I questioned religion my entire life. I just didn't want to make God mad or go to hell. Hell was the hardest thing to deconstruct. But community is very important, and that's why I'm here, because this community. So having people with like minds and loving hearts are very important. That's why Universalist Unitarian churches are important. We need the energy of other non-judging, loving human beings. Now I am an atheist. My religion is love. I believe that you should love everyone equally, that everyone is beautiful and perfect just the way you are. We were born good the first time. That was one of those, that hurt so bad, because you were not good enough, you were dirty, you were black, all that. So that's important to me. I was good the first time. I didn't have to be cleaned or blessed or any of that. So anyway, that's my preaching on the side. And by not believing, one more minute. And by not believing in God does not mean let's be nihilistic with no meaning to life. To me, being an atheist means living every moment to the fullest. If this is all there is, we should live it to the fullest. And we should live it to the fullest no matter what we believe. And I feel like I almost feel that I never truly started living until I deconstructed. Now I live every moment, I treasure every moment, and I live every moment to the fullest. And I choose what I do with my time. What if we were all made just to love one another and enjoy this beautiful life that we have here? And now, Bill Benson will speak.
Morning. In our class, Reverend Carroll invited us to write our credos. A credo is a Latin word for I believe, and refers to a statement of one's core beliefs, guiding principles, or a system of beliefs and values that guide a person or group's actions and way of life. This is what I came up with. I am a child of the universe. I believe that the universe is full of love and that it always wants our highest good, and that with it, I co-create my life. I believe that life is precious and we are blessed to live on a wonderful planet. My spiritual beliefs encompass all living and non-living things throughout the cosmos. I believe that we must not limit ourselves to old thoughts, and if we make mistakes, we should learn from them and forgive ourselves. We should also try our best not to judge others and to be gentle with ourselves, and that sometimes you have to stand up to the bullies. I believe in the possibility that we have lived many lifetimes and that we are meant to learn and grow during those lifetimes. I believe that we must strive to love ourselves and to be kind to others, that all of us are somewhere along the spiral journey of spiritual growth, and I believe that we should share.
Are you going to do it in the middle or are you going to do it at the end? Okay, let me grab the microphone.
Okay. Oh, it's not on.
Making Brad get up. I'm going to ask the choir. We're going to do the doxology fairly early on in Elizabeth's thing. So choir, if you want to come stand up here to help lead this, that would be awesome. While I try to find the music.
I just want to say while they're coming up here that this has been an interesting journey. It was a bit of a struggle at times coming up with where I am at right now. And what I am seeing is that there's some overlap. There are a lot of things that we have shared together. So my spiritual journey began in a progressive Presbyterian church. I did not experience any trauma as a child, physical or religious, at home or at church. I have no recollection of being shamed for speaking up or asking questions in Sunday school. One of the deepest, most ingrained memories of church for me from this time was singing the doxology at every church service.
So I'm going to play this. You're going to recognize it, but I'm going to play it all the way through once. All right? You're going to recognize it. And the words are up here. I'm going to play it all the way through once before we sing it, and then we're going to sing it all the way through. So you're going to hear the whole melody.
If you were raised in a Protestant church, you probably remember that, probably know it pretty well. This Protestant hymn was my indoctrination to the Christian Trinity. It informed me of several concepts, of hierarchy, of patriarchy, that there are a multitude of creatures here on the earth, that there are beings that are not of this earth, that life is filled with blessings, and that praise is a good thing to do. Some of what this hymn taught me, I no longer accept as true or good, but this is where I started. This was my foundation, and it was rock solid. Around the age of 9, I was walking one afternoon in the hills around my neighborhood. I had a transcendent experience. It was a special moment, and it even felt mystical. It was liminal. The world around me shifted, a veil was lifted, and I was present in a different awareness. A year or so later, and feeling a deep connection to something I could not explain, I decided to read the Bible cover to cover. But when I read the story in Genesis of Lot, the visitation of the Lord's angels and Lot's offer to hand over his young daughters to an angry mob, I could not reconcile myself to teachings that condoned, let alone preached, violence against young girls, people like me. This, for me, was rupture, not rapture. I was done with the Bible and any religious teachings based on it. As my formative years rolled on, I came to understand that I didn't actually believe in the Trinity. For me, there is only the one, even though I don't have a name for it. I learned in high school physics that everything is energy, and energy is neither created nor destroyed. It only changes in form, and it vibrates at different frequencies. To me, that means that even the one, Spirit, God, is energy that is present in some form. In college, I studied comparative religions and Jungian psychology and discovered the human need to make sense of a chaotic and often scary world. The golden rule, do unto others, is at the core of every religious tradition. The message is simply, be kind. As I approached midlife and having rejected patriarchal religions, I turned to the goddess, she of many names. But eventually I realized I don't need to anthropomorphize universal truth in order to connect with whatever it is. Others, male or female deities, that is how they connect. That's what they relate to. As I continue to explore and learn, my understanding continues to evolve. I admit I do not have all of the answers. I don't even have all of the questions. I recognize that I am limited by my 5 senses, by my capacity to reason, and I am constrained by language. I now grok that God is manifest in everyone and in everything. It is what we collectively, and each of us individually, are. Because of that, being in community is vitally important. We are spiritual beings having a human experience on this planet in these meat sack spacesuits. And as such, I seek to honor the oneness of it all and in our interconnectedness in an earth-based practice, and I have found a spiritual home at Westside, a community of fellow explorers. Thank you, and I think next up is Sabina.
Good morning. My oldest and most steadfast belief, spiritual belief, is reincarnation. I started getting interested in reincarnation in the 1970s, when it was a time people explored Ouija boards and psychic fairs popped up in so many places. My belief was reinforced by a coworker from India. I contacted trained professionals who placed me under hypnosis to tap into my past lives. It was a very easy process, and being guided along made me feel at ease, especially because I had free will during all the sessions. Interestingly enough, the lives I tapped into were all applicable to my present life. Exploring some of these past lives has helped me navigate my present life. I discovered why I have specific personality traits, why certain people are in my life, and why I get recurring minor health challenges. Actually, there are many religions that believe in the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. For example, Hinduism. They believe that the soul is immortal and is reborn into new physical bodies based on past actions until achieving liberation. Buddhism is another religion. It focuses on the energy, consciousness through a cycle of rebirth, aiming to reach nirvana. Yet another one is Sikhism. Sikhism, they believe in reincarnation as part of the soul's journey towards uniting with God. Islam is another one. Certain sects of Islam, like Druze and the Alawites, also believe in reincarnation. And then there are tribes like the Native Americans, some of them, and Aborigine Australian traditions, they believe in soul rebirth. And then we have the ancient Greeks, Platonism, for example, and Wiccans, and some modern spiritual movements, and again, they all hold that belief. Incidentally, General Patton passionately believed in reincarnation. He actually thought that he lived in past lives as a warrior, and he could tell you exactly which lives that were. So reincarnation, that is my spiritual belief, among others, but that has been with me for the longest time. Thank you, and the love and life in me honors and blesses the love and light in you. Namaste, you all.
And next is Denise Thompson.
Good morning. While my early years were influenced by a Christian light lifestyle, curiosity, open-mindedness, and personal experience have expanded my beliefs to include life after death, reincarnation, and the divine feminine. I have found that the tools of psychics, mediums, energy healers, witchcraft, and shamans may offer a deeper understanding. While I continue to have more questions than answers, I do know and believe that in the end, love is everything. Love is the reason. And if no one has told you today that they love you, I love you. Now, Reverend Carol will teach us a new song.
Okay, so you've heard a couple people refer to goddess religions. So Brad is going to put some words up for us. I'm going to teach you how to pronounce them. Choir, come up just so that you can give them bravery. So this is a very frequently used goddess chant in a number of traditions. Elizabeth was familiar with it. Some of us are familiar with this. It's a very familiar chant to people who've been in any of those kinds of traditions. So we're gonna do this without any music. We're gonna learn it. But I'm gonna first teach you how to pronounce these words the way they're pronounced in the chant. These are all names of goddesses. So I'm going to say one, you just repeat it. Isis, Astarte. And for the sake of the song, we pronounce Diana's name Deanna. Hecate, Demeter, Kali, Inanna. Okay, so that's the core of the chant, and the music is ridiculously easy because it's like 3 notes. Okay, so I'm gonna lead, and the choir, you're gonna help them do the response part, right? I'll sing a line, and then you all sing it back. Okay, Isis, Astarte, Diana, Hecate. Isis, Astarte, Diana, Hecate. Let's do that again. I'll do it and then you do it. Isis, Astarte, Diana, Hecate. Isis, Astarte, Diana, Hecate. The next line is the same notes. Demeter, Kali, Inanna. Demeter, Kali, Inanna. So let's do that all together. Ready? Isis, Astarte, Diana, Hecate, Demeter, Kali, Inanna. One more time. Isis, Astarte, Diana, Hecate, Demeter, Kali, Inanna. Okay, next slide, Brad. The next verse is, we can sing this through, it's the same notes, and I know you can read it. I am a wise woman, I am a story woman, I am a healer, my soul will never die. Next verse. And then we'll do the whole thing. We are old people, we are a new people, we are the same people, deeper than before. Okay, back to the beginning. Now the way this works is we sing the names, then we sing the verse, then we sing the names, then we sing the verse, then we sing the names. Brad has got to manage that back on the computer, okay? Good luck, Brad. He's like this back there. Okay, you ready? Sistarte Diana, Hecate Demeter, Kali, Inanna. I am a wise woman, I am a story woman, I am a healer, my soul will never die. Now the names. Sistarte Diana, Hecate Demeter, Kali, Inanna. Next verse. We are an old people, we are a new people, we are the same people, deeper than before. And the names. Sistarte Diana, Hecate Demeter, Kali, Inanna. Give yourselves a round of applause for doing that. Thanks, choir. You guys can sit down. And a round of applause to Brad. So one of the important things about chants like that is notice that that kind of music is very different than the doxology. They represent very different traditions and cultures, both of which kinds of cultures are influencing us as a community. The next speaker is going to be Morgan Ringelspaw.
It's funny because what I wrote goes so perfectly. So I'm Morgan. I use they, them pronouns. In 2013, I traveled to Ireland for a Celtic mythology study abroad course. I hadn't realized it at the time, but I believe I was called to be there by someone. One of the day trips was to Newgrange, and best described as an ancient burial mound, dating back to a time before the Egyptian pyramids, before Stonehenge. It was there that I first heard the voice of the gods. We are here. In March of 2020, just before the world shut down, I had my reawakening. Suddenly, I remembered who I was, who I am, and will be. Just as I was told, we are here, we're here, we'll be here. I remembered my purpose here on this earth, my past lives, glimpses of my future life, and all of it hitting at once is overwhelmingly bizarre and painful in ways that I can't quite name. Since then, Freya has sent me comfort in times of grief. Hecate has instructed me to keep going. The Morrigan has guided my path, and the crows greet me as reminders of where to go. I believe in the kaleidoscopic circular paths of being. I believe in the divinity in the mundane when we are too afraid to seek truth openly. I believe in the reiteration and reincarnation of patterns as expressions of archetypal existences that we share. There is the many gods, just as there are the many people in this room and space and time. Just as we are the human race, they are the spirit, and yet there too we are. We are spirit and they are human. It's a complex weave into a constricted tapestry that we call language, and yet somehow I remember. Thou art God, and God is me, and together with divinity and community, we create change through ever-progressing worlds, never quite reaching an end, for there are never ends, just new beginnings, old beginnings, forever and amen. And just as I stand here to relay the words I was given this morning, we ourselves give pieces of meaning through each other. We are not separate individuals living limited individual lives. Remember, my friends, we are one entity having multitudes of experiences cut off from each other only to remember how to come together. These words, perhaps they'll remind you of who you are and who you will be and what we've been before, what we can be and will be again. I believe in the kaleidoscopic realities that are hard to describe and harder to see, but mostly, I believe in the power of we and us, extending to ancient depths and distant heights. We were here, are here, and will forever be here. Thank you. Next up, we have Baz.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. My name is Sebastian Kaur. My pronouns are he and him. I'm grateful for this opportunity to share a little story about myself. My life has been shaped by challenge, reflection, and faith. Surviving cancer repeatedly from childhood into adulthood changed the way I understood pain, hope, and meaning. Through that journey, I came to value wisdom, compassion, and insight found across many philosophies and religions. Since I was 5 years old, I've had mystical experiences and felt deep spiritual connection with both the world around me and the world within me. From a young age, I sensed that there was something greater moving through life than what we could easily explain. Those experiences taught me to reflect deeply, stay open-hearted, and seek meaning through what I can only describe as a kind of spiritual awareness. Throughout my life, I have also felt deeply connected not only to people, but to animals and nature as well. In their presence and in the stillness of the world around me, I have often felt a quiet kinship that's difficult to explain. Those moments have reminded me that there is a deeper thread of connection woven through all living beings. I have also had experiences that seem to reach beyond of physical reality. I have had waking moments when my consciousness felt as though it peeled away from my body and glimpsed something vast and indescribable. I have felt presences I could not explain, and I've known moments of deep peace, harmony, and joy. While I do not claim to fully understand these experiences, they have deepened my sense that reality is more mysterious, more connected, and more sacred than it first appears. Drawing, writing, and especially music have deepened these experiences even more. Through creative expression, I have often felt more attuned to the deeper rhythms moving through the world around me and within me. Over time, my relationship with music has evolved, becoming not only a form of expression, but also a deeper way of reflecting, connecting, and encountering the sacred. What I believe today is that life is full of mystery, connection, and sacred meaning, and that love is one of the deepest truths we are given. As Isaac Asimov wrote, "The soft bonds of love are indifferent to life and death." For me, that speaks to the way love continues through memory, spirit, and the ways we remain present in one another's lives. I believe we are here to grow in understanding, walk with compassion, and honor the deeper unity woven through all existence. Thank you.
And Anna is next. Anna is next.
Hi, friends. I'm Anna Kaur, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers. I've been attending Westside for about 2 years now, and I'd like to share a little bit about myself with all of you. I was born almost 63 years ago to a very conservative Catholic and Portuguese family. My family was typically male-dominated, and if I had followed tradition, I would have been content to attend Catholic church, marry after graduating high school, and raise obedient Catholic children. But lucky for me, my paternal grandfather was not narrow-minded, and he did not follow what anyone said just because it came from the church. Lucky for me, most of my time was spent with my grandfather. My parents worked full-time, and he was retired and had plenty of time to spend with me. So, he was my best childhood friend. Until his passing when I was only 10 years old. But until then, he taught me many lessons, and those lessons lived on after he was gone. He was happiest when he was out in nature. He opened my eyes to the beauty and wonder of our world. He loved creatures of all sorts, whether they were furry, feathery, and scaly, and he was very happy to present them to me to play with. He repeatedly reassured me. Despite the male-dominated family I was born in, he told me I was very smart and I could achieve anything that I wanted to in life. He proudly told me this was America, and that meant that I was free to be whatever I wanted to be. But of all the lessons I learned from Grandpa, I believe the most important was that kindness matters most of all. My grandfather never knew a stranger. He spoke to everyone, no matter their color, culture, beliefs. He gave food to homeless he encountered on the street, and he would always remind me that I never knew what anyone else was suffering in their life and that you could be in their place tomorrow. He taught me to try my best kindness in all that I do. So if you ask me what my religion is, my belief, my creed, it is to treat others with love and kindness to the best of my ability. That is it. Thank you.
And our last, and now Bill Corr is going to speak.
I've been following her for 39 years. Good morning, everyone. My name is Bill Corr, for those who don't know me, and my pronouns are he, him, and his. I've been attending Westside for about 2 years and have been a member here for around 1. Prior to joining this congregation, I belonged to United Methodist and Roman Catholic churches. During my later teens and early 20s, I studied to be a Franciscan priest and friar, but left after my dreams and beliefs diverged from that path. In the following years, I maintained an intense personal spirituality, but desired to grow and perform good works as part of a community of people with similar dispositions. I believe I found that here with all of you. Though I was baptized as an infant, my upbringing was not a religious one. Despite the lack of exposure to spiritual ideas and symbols during my childhood, I began to later have what I recognize now as mystical experiences. These consisted of out-of-body episodes, a strong sense of invisible presences, disturbing spiritual dreams, and inexplicable knowledge. Over time, some of these phenomena became less frequent, though never completely ceased throughout my life. I advanced rapidly in my studies during my school years, and being intensely curious about the world, intended to pursue a career in the sciences. The summer after my sophomore year of high school, I went hiking in the Rocky Mountains with the Boy Scouts. While at the base camp of Philmont Scout Ranch, a friend invited me to attend a Roman Catholic Mass, during which I experienced a strong sense of a comforting presence, and it felt like it was calling me home. A few days later, while passing through a beautiful mountain meadow surrounded by aspens, I was overwhelmed by a profoundly ecstatic connection with all of existence. This made a deep, lasting impression on me, and I entered St. Francis High School Seminary 1 year later. In the decades since aspiring to religious life, I have formed my beliefs by aligning my misses with discoveries in the sciences and my own observations of the world around me. For instance, physicists theorized that about 13.8 billion years ago, the matter and energy which would eventually become our physical bodies erupted into time and space from a uniform cosmic singularity. Everything that happened in the interim evolved in a way to make us each unique, the people we are. We are one in many, different yet all precious. We are consciousness and purpose manifested. We are both sustaining love and careless destruction. We can influence our world's evolution compassionately or greedily. We have all arisen from a single field of being, and we're connected to everything. Thank you for allowing me to share this with you.
Thank you, Bill. So we're gonna listen to a song now that when Bill did his sharing during our class, he shared with us, and we're gonna project the words up. If you're with us on our live stream, I believe Brad is putting the link in. We can't actually technically live stream the song to you because we don't have the license to do that. So if you're with us virtually, you will have the link in the chat there where you can go to this recording. And for those of us here, we're gonna be able to listen to it, and we're gonna be able to see the lyrics. This is a beautiful song that Bill shared with us. So I know that when I first heard that song, I cried. Because for me, that song encapsulates, it's really easy to hear that song and think, oh, is that about romantic love? But it's not. Actually, I asked some questions of some people I know who are really good at tracking video games after you brought that song, Bill. And I asked some people I know who are some big gamers, like, hey, do you know this song? Do you know this game? And they were like, oh yeah, the entire game is actually designed to induce flow states. Right? The entire game is designed, it's built, like we've played Tetris, you've all played Tetris, right? But this version of Tetris, this particular version of this game is designed to induce the states in our bodies, and in our minds, and in our consciousness of feeling connected to all of life, which is beautiful. That is the center of this community. It doesn't matter what your particular narrative is about how that works. Whether you are atheist or Buddhist or Jewish or Christian or polytheist or a mystic or whatever you call yourself, however you name it, the thing that holds us together is this sense that we are here together and connected, and that our connections matter, and that they give us life and hope and comfort and healing and possibility. And I would like to tell a short story about connection. Ryan and I did not plan this. We showed up this morning and we went, look what you did, right? And love is also liberating. It can free us from the isolation and the separation and the loneliness and the fear and the worry and all the things that would keep us from being most fully who we are here to be, however we name that. So in this community, let us continue to hold that heart, the light of wisdom, the light of our inner knowing, the light of seeking, and also the heart, the love, which is at the center of our tradition. Let us hold that. There are lots of ways we express that. I want to just make a reminder that it's always possible to participate actively with your hands in the work of the heart. There are ways that we do the work of justice and love in the world. Some of them are just by supporting this community. You can always time your talent, your energy, your financial resources, whatever, to this community. And we have partners in the community that we support. Our current partner is Knox Pride. We are now in our Pride quarter, so be looking for our Pride service will be happening in early June, where we have our own personal Pride celebration here. But we do support Knox Pride. And Andrew Coffey, our membership coordinator, recently spoke with John Camp, is that his name? Who is the director of Knox Pride, and he said the thing they most need right now is food for their pantry. So there's information in our social media and in our resources about how you can do that, but that's the thing they most need from us right now as a partner, is to help them keep their food pantry stocked and supplying food to the community, because those needs are increasing. So I invite us to remember to do that, to reach outside the walls of this building. Our closing words are going to be read by Judith Feiner. And Judith, is it okay if we have everybody stand up and hold hands while we do this? Good. Great. A reminder, you do not have to hold hands. You can hold your own hands, because loving yourself is as important as loving anybody else. It's actually the beginning, so please feel free to do that.
The poem is The Guest House by Rumi, who was a Sufi mystic in the 13th century. The Guest House. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness. some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. They may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond.
Go in peace and passion, everyone, to be the love you wish to see in the world. May it be so.